Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Antje and today I'll be talking about 3 YA romance trilogies. And in my opinion, romance is not really a genre that holds up that well over the ages. And what I mean by that is if you look at fantasy books or books covering social or political issues, they are often written in such a way that they can be enjoyed by people of different ages. So I'm thinking of Harry Potter, To Kill a Mockingbird or The Hobbit. You can read or enjoy these books at the age of 8 or 9, but you can just as well enjoy them when you're a senior citizen. And I don't think the same can be said for romance novels, just because I think that the way we view romance and love and what we expect of love changes so much over the course of our life, which is also the reason why I stopped reading YA romance, just because it has nothing to do with my life or what I expect of love. So it's difficult to connect to the characters and there's just no point. But from time to time on BookTube there are YA romances that are so hyped up that even I will pick them up. And I'm going to talk about 3 different ones that I really binged and enjoyed, but at some point also feel quite embarrassed for enjoying so much. And I'm just going to talk about the 3 trilogies in the order that I read them, and I'm going to rank them by overall enjoyment, the romance, how embarrassed I am for liking the trilogy, and whether I would recommend them to my teen sister. So, the first trilogy I want to talk about is To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. And this is a really cute story. We are following Laura Jean, who each time she falls in love in or has a crush on a boy, she writes him a letter, and after writing the letter she kind of falls out of love and can continue with her life, and she always hides these letters in her hat box, and she kind of just leaves them there, not thinking about it too much. But then one day all the letters are sent out to these boys, and because one of the letters is sent out to her neighbor and she's really embarrassed about it, she pretends to be in a relationship with another guy who received a letter, who is trying to make his ex-girlfriend jealous, I guess. Okay, not that cute after all. So my overall enjoyment for To All the Boys I've Loved Before I would rate as a 3.75 to a 4, just because it was such a light-hearted, cute story. There is a bit of drama going on, but it's not major drama over the top. And the romance that I would give a 4 out of 5, it was, there was no weird love triangle going on. They weren't being totally obnoxious. Well, in the second book I did enjoy a bit less because they were obnoxious, but in the general gist of things they were quite likable as a couple. And especially the third book, when they are preparing to go to university, I could kind of connect to just the struggle with where am I going to go, how far from home do I want to go, and leaving your friends behind. That was just an issue I could connect with. So embarrassed, I'm not really embarrassed for enjoying this so much, just because it's so cute and innocent, and I would definitely recommend this to my sister. She actually has the other 2 books in this trilogy, so she might actually be reading this at this point. The second trilogy I want to talk about is A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And this is a fantasy book where we follow Feyre, who is out hunting and shoots a fairy, and as retribution the fairies take her and she has to live in their world as a captive, and she then starts falling for her captor. And I wouldn't say this was really a fantasy book, just because yes, it is a fantasy world, but the romance is the central plot, and everything that happens around this plot of romance is just kind of an afterthought. And my overall enjoyment was, I think, a 3.5 to 4-star enjoyment, but the romance was so bad. I don't know, I really enjoyed reading about it in the moment, but just thinking back to it, and even whilst I was reading it, it was so cringy, just because we have this love triangle. I don't know, was it a triangle really? It's 2 guys and they happen after each other, but you have these 2 characters and it's so obvious who the author wants you to like, and she really rubs it in. So she makes him this over-the-top feminist, and he's super good looking, and he loves his people so much and he's such a great guy and he's so super rich and everything, like he is perfect. But it's this really weird power dynamic between the two, like they're addicted to each other. I don't think they're in love, I think they're addicted. And just all those smutty scenes, they had me cringing so badly, and I actually feel myself like blushing just thinking about it, just because it was so cringeworthy. I really enjoyed it in the moment though, just because it was such trash. I mean, my embarrassment level is high. I think I can't believe I'm actually telling people this, that I read the books and I enjoyed them, just because it's so bad. It's so bad. Which is also why I'm not going to recommend it to my sister, just because I can't believe I did it and read all these books. I just definitely don't want her to read them. The third trilogy I want to talk about is The Selection by Kiera Cass, and I picked this up because it sounded so trashy. 35 Girls, One Crown, The Competition of a Lifetime. This has over 800,000 reviews on Goodreads, and I think it averages around 4-point-something stars, so this is beloved by many. And it's set in a dystopian future in America, and the prince is, I don't know, how old is he, 20 or something? And he's supposed to choose a wife, so all the girls in this age range, I think 16 to 22, can apply, and they are chosen at random and then sent to the castle to fight for his favor. And we follow, what's her name? America Singer. She originally only goes there because she wants to get the money because whilst they are there, the girls get money and her family needs it. But then of course she falls in love, and this book has the worst love triangle in it of all times. She is the most horrible person. Like, she's spending time with this one guy and is all over him and in love, and then the next moment when she's with the other guy, she's all heads over heels for him. And these two guys, they are so nice and they really open their hearts and everything, and she doesn't give a shit. If I hadn't had all 3 books here, I would have stopped after the first book. It's weird. The writing is also bad. We have so many makeover scenes in this thing. Plus, I don't know how many times America's dresses are described. It's a shit show. I think enjoyment-wise, I would only give this 2.5 to 3 stars, just because I did kind of have fun with the first book, but book 2 and 3 were a hot mess. And as I said, romance was absolute crap. I'd probably give it 1 star. I'm not embarrassed for having read this, just because I didn't enjoy it, so there's no reason to be embarrassed. I don't know, if my sister really read a lot, I would recommend this to her just for fun, but if she only reads 5 books a year, I don't know why she should read this. Yeah, as I said, I did kind of enjoy To All the Boys and what was the other? Court of Thorns and Roses, but I didn't enjoy them enough that I would actually pick up any other romance novels by these authors, or that I have a feeling that I'm missing out by actually categorically not picking up YA romance. Just talking about these books has made it clear to me that I'm seriously not the target audience. I hope you enjoyed this very pointless video. But anyways, that was it for now. I will see you next week, and till then, bye.